Hi, I'm CKX WhaleFan, and you're watching WhaleFan's Crease. Welcome to WhaleFan's Crease, and today we will meet the management known as the Oceanic, led by Irma, for short. So, Irma, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you did last season for LG.
Well, for those of you who might know me already, my full gamer tag is Tork. My real name is Alec. I am 19 and currently residing in New York. Last season's LG. Wow, where do I start? Well, I was picked up by Drummondville Voltigeurs, one of the first picks when they still did the whole pick thing, which was, so I was there. We had a lot of controversy there, man. It was every day was something new. New issues rose. There was really no solution to them either, so it was kind of like the GMs that were there tried to fix things and it just never ended up working out right. So we pushed through it and we were one of the worst teams in the league. But the last week of regular season, I went to my GM listen because we had an AGM who dropped out. I said, "Listen, man, we got 1 week till playoffs. Let me take the AGM. I'll try to do what I can do here. Maybe we can do something." Ended up taking the AGM spot, winning 2 games, 1 or 2, I can't remember. Lost in the first round to Cape Breton, and pretty much everything just kind of came from that. Zeno hit me up and said, "Listen, you want to own a team next year or next season?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." So that's where we are now.
So, yeah, it's a great opportunity to take up management, especially this season where there's a lot of teams, and
There's a lot
I
of
think it'll
teams.
give you guys a lot of good opportunities to really learn that system and get it down
For
without
sure.
any issues. Now, bidding was just recently closed. I'm sure that has happened now.
Yep.
Now, tell us a little bit how bidding went from your team's perspective.
I thought we had a pretty good bidding session, whatever you want to call it. We got some guys who, we really wanted to pick up, but we also didn't get the guys we wanted to pick up. It was a lot of back and forth. We had a lot of great scouting from a bunch of guys. KSI, my GM, he scouted great. We had a lot of depth. So if one guy wasn't available, we had guys right after it. It was just top center. Then he was gone. Next center and the next center. It was just kind of like that. So we ended up getting a lot of the guys we wanted to, and we had to settle for some 500K players who actually ended up being steals. So I'm looking at my roster right now, and we have a lot of great forwards and a lot of great defensemen and solid goaltending. So I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. We just made a couple more trades, really trying to finalize it for a regular season, but can't count anything for certain right now with TC guys still dropping in. So
Yeah, I'm actually got your roster up as well. Happened to go through it just now, and it looks like only one of your players is really over that window
yes,
of 3 mil, which is Riles
yes,
the fourth
Riles,
for short.
yeah,
At the center position, 6.5 mil. So
yeah.
looks like you, you
He
were
was
able
someone
to
we
avoid
wanted.
the salary issues during bidding.
Yeah, really.
So that's always a good thing, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a struggle. Not gonna lie, because Friday when it opened, I was actually working, and I told KSI, "Listen, man, you got to do this. Just start off the bidding. I'll come home from work. I'll just keep working on it." And we wanted to get a lot of guys. Perplex was a pretty expensive guy. We wanted Shadilak. You know how much he went for, so
10.5 mil contract.
we
Yeah.
knew that wasn't going to happen. But Riles was a guy that a lot of teams had on their radar, and we were able to get him for, I think, a pretty good price. We've put him in our system, played a couple club games preseason. He's working out so far right now, so I think it's a good deal.
All right. Cool. Cool. And glad to see that bidding went well for you guys.
Yep.
Some teams do happen to have some issues during bidding. not one of the best situations as well some teams face during bidding.
Yeah.
I mean, Erie was a good example with only
Yeah.
having 2 players after 2 days of bidding, but it's good to see that the CHL staff went
Yeah.
in and helped them out to figure out all the bugs
Yeah.
and stuff. I kind of found it hilarious when he went into the shout box and I guess apparently I'm he I believe to what I saw said he didn't do scouting nor knew how to bid. So that doesn't really help you as a GM.
No,
You don't know how to do something like that.
not particularly well, but I did see that. I looked at the bidding just a couple hours ago before it closed, and I saw like the whole list of guys were just eerie, like 12 guys in a row, 500K bids.
Oh yeah, eventually
So
it's
yeah,
going
it's
to happen.
just I was curious on that, but it looks like you figured that out yourself.
Yeah, we'll see how they do after the first week. We never know.
Still
And I know
preseason, you can't
Mercy on
tell.
Doghouse has some faith in them. I mean, it's only the first week, and I'm sure they're
Yeah,
going to be able to make
exactly.
some trades during that time that really fix the kinks. And especially with preseason, which the CHL happens to have this season,
Yeah,
the 1 week of preseason while AHL and NHL started.
yeah,
That it gives you guys a lot of time to figure things out. So that should be a great advantage for their management team to be able to figure out who works with who and if we have to make trades. I'm sure
exactly.
they're going to because I mean, again, they were like one of the last teams with getting players on their roster
Yeah,
after
for
all
sure.
the issues
Yeah.
that they faced. But anyways, what do you think was one of the out of control bids in your opinion?
Shadowlack.
Cadillac, definitely. Yeah, that's one of the big ones.
10.5.
I know Flint's cap, I think, took a huge hit when that happened. I'm pretty sure
That
because
that's like I'm no math major, but that's like 2.5 their salary. You put two of them together and half of it, and you got 25 mil. That's their cap. So
yeah,
that's a huge hit. Uh, and not only was he, I believe, the highest bid of the draft, but he was also one of the earliest. He hit 10.5 in like an hour and a half.
yeah, I know.
And
Very early in
I
the
just
bidding.
stepped back. I was like, I'm done. I'm done worrying about it.
Yeah. Matter of fact, 2 players on the roster are over 5 mil
Oh,
for
really?
Flint. Tyler C 2006 is a 6 mil contract, and he's an amateur. Now, Shadowlack is a prospect at 10.5, and if you add those together, that's 16.5 mil. But it's shocking to see that he was able to get a lot of 500K players to really fix
Yes.
the issues with the cap space.
Yeah.
And as a result, he has 1.75 mil to hang on to now. That's
Yeah.
open for him to use, which is great. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, his cap could have been worse.
It could have
But
been a lot worse. He definitely went for the big names, and hopefully he's got some success, except when he doesn't play us. But those two guys will definitely be the headlines for that team throughout the year.
yeah, definitely. So that should be a good. That should be interesting to see what Flint can do now that the cap's now at ease and they have some spending room to use
Yeah.
up during the season. So that should really be an interesting thing to have. I know a lot of other players actually did get 8 mil contracts too.
Yeah.
Some I think the Rock says was one of them. He went to Ottawa. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure.
Yep.
I saw that the day that I was just sitting in the CHL tab, watching it all unfold.
Yeah. When I was working, I told KS I had a bid. He was like, I told him, I was like, listen, man, I don't want to spend more than like 6 or 7 mil on a player. I was like, I really want to keep everyone at a decent salary, build a lot of depth too. So he did a good job. He bid, like you said, the highest was Riles at 6.5, and then nobody was over 3 after that. We had a couple 2.5s ish, and then we went down to a mil and a half, and filled out some of the gaps with some guys that I know personally who were really good assets.
Yeah. Yeah, several other teams also have players with 8.5 contracts. Some do, some don't. But yeah, the salary cap worth is going to be pretty high to a point where I think those players are really safe to play in the CHL, even if they're
Yes.
prospects, because prospects, regardless, are going to
Yeah.
be in the CHL anyways for the season. But if you're a veteran with that high contract of 8.5, I think that really takes a hit in the AHL because that's not going to really help you. that much where
For sure.
the chance of call-ups, because that's going to take a hit at their cap as well. And unfortunately, that'll be the season that it'll ride out in TC and CHL active roster if you're a veteran or amateur in this case, unfortunately. But oh well. I mean, I'm betting it's probably going to be out there for seasons to come as well, and that gives all of the GMs now, a better idea of what, what really should be, to come up bidding. So,
Yeah.
how to bid and how not to go over, and especially with that 10.5 mil.
Yeah,
That
it's
one was a big
crazy.
step back for the CHL. I actually did get Zeno's reaction about that, and let's just say it was kind of funny in a way. So,
Yeah.
that was kind of funny. I'll admit that. But yes. Okay, let's move on here. What team do you guys look forward to playing this season? Now, I know you are in the queue, so it
Yes.
could be any W or O team as well, and like a scrimmage or whatever as well.
Drummondville.
Definitely got to get the revenge
Drummondville.
from the
Yeah.
Drummondville season.
I got a couple buddies on the team. We actually scrimmaged each other one night, late night. I think it was Saturday night, and it was a close game. We played twice. It was 2-1. They won the first one, and then it was 4-2. They won. So, we definitely want the revenge from those two games. But just knowing a bunch of people on that team, and that being my former team, and even I got guys on my roster who played for them last season too. So it's a big, it's a big clash, and I know they're very good this season too. So it's gonna be interesting. And I know we play them on the second game of the first night of opening.
That's always good. Yeah, I know. You'll probably see Drummondville a lot this season,
Yeah.
in the CHL schedule. So that should always be interesting. I'll
Yeah.
be looking forward to watching that on the sidelines on Twitch then. Definitely look out for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Any final thoughts before the official season begins?
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very interesting, fun season. I think there's a lot of things we got to look forward to. It's still way too early for me to tell who the big powerhouses are going to be. I don't know much about the O or the W right now. I know a decent amount about the Q and who's in there, and I think it's all a time game right now. I think after teams get their chemistry together and make some moves, and then the trade deadline comes, I think there's a lot to look forward to, and a lot more to come than just what we see right now, and even in the first couple weeks.
Gotcha. So yeah, I mean the CHL season, there's a lot of games as well. So
Yeah, there's a lot.
A lot of hype around the CHL for the first couple of weeks, I'm sure.
Yes.
Being in front in the standings as well is going to be key. Even though you already have that playoff berth,
Yeah.
at this point you're just really focusing on getting that perfect seed that you want.
The best seeding you want.
And then you're wanting to play that broken team that's at 6th place team or 16th place team. My bad.
Yeah.
That very last place team. That's the team that you want to play in the playoffs because then you're going to be able to win that series because of the issues they face during the season. So that'll be the huge battle right there from each. I'm going to say conference in this case for each league.
Yeah.
Each league's going to be split up in a conference, I believe, pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to consider it that way. Alrighty. This is the conclusion of WhaleFan's Crease for today. If you'd like to be on WhaleFan's Crease, feel free to hit me up with a PM on the LG website, and I'll add you to the queue of people that want to get on the show. And from myself, Irma, we'll see you next time on WhaleFan's Crease.
Thanks.